Hello, my name is Solon, and we're going to talk about one of the easiest questions ever. Am I hurt and am I sick? Our objectives are going to be to learn how to self-assess, learn the importance of this lifelong problem, and empower you to take action on it. The first step is to acknowledge our blind spots. Most people don't self-assess very well. Um, so I'm going to give a few examples from my personal career to try and illustrate this. For an ergonomic issue, I start out all my ergonomic evaluations with a basic question. Are you hurt? If someone has an injury, then I have to set up their workstation to accommodate that injury. I could make it worse if I don't know about that. So I did one years ago, and she said she wasn't hurt, which is great. I flip the page to the next side of the form and start filling out what I see. And as I watch her posture and I watch how she does things, I mentioned that she could have pain in a few areas. And she said, "Yep, I got that." So I turned the form back to the first page. She proceeded to tell me that the pain had gotten so bad she had taken time off of work, that the pain had gotten so bad she had gone to the doctor, and that the pain had gotten so bad that she was now taking medication. But she didn't think she was hurt. She didn't tell anyone at work. Now, if anyone's taking time off of work, seeing doctors and taking prescriptions, they're hurt. But most people just don't see it. My mom used to tell me to stop coming to her unless I was oozing blood. And that's what most people are thinking about when they asked if they are hurt. They're looking for some kind of obvious, visible sign. Most injuries would never be treated if that was the limit of what an injury is. Also, people generally haven't been trained on what an injury is, so they really aren't sure when asked if they're hurt. For some types of injuries, you can't tell how bad they are when they happen. You get rear-ended in a car, the whiplash neck pain you will feel generally doesn't happen until the next day. For heat stress injuries, one of the symptoms is to become disoriented. You actually don't even know you're hurt. For many reasons, you may not actually feel the pain of the injury when you actually get hurt. Um, Also, most people don't like talking about their own health. They don't want to call attention to themselves. They don't want to be seen as not tough, a complainer, or something else. As a matter of fact, they will usually minimize their own problems. For example, they'll see someone not feeling well, and they'll say to them, "Go home, I got this, get better." But feeling and looking the same way, they'll come back to work every time. As another example, a catastrophic injury. I was called out to the parkway by some employees concerned about a coworker. When I arrived, I found a gentleman bleeding profusely from his head. He had been driving a tractor, cleaning up the parkway, and a tree limb fell and hit him in the head. So he drove the tractor back to his truck, where his plan was actually to load the tractor on the trailer, drive it down the freeway back to our yard, and then get help. His coworker saw him and realized this was not the time to take a driving test, and luckily they stopped him and called us for help. Third example, personal health example. I was giving a CPR class, and a student wanted to give an example of what happened in his life, and he told the story of how he felt a coworker was not right. The coworker, he said, wasn't feeling well, and he would go home, and he'd call back tomorrow, come in tomorrow, no problem. But the student said he knew something was wrong with this guy. His coworker died that day of a heart attack at home. The student knows if he had told the supervisor, if they had called an ambulance, his friend might still be alive. And he lives with that every day. He feels it every day. So, what are the signs and symptoms of an injury? This is a totally incomplete list. Don't think this is the total list of symptoms you have to look for. There will never be a complete list that you can actually remember and use. Here's what I want you to remember. For an injury, actually stop work and evaluate it. If something happens, stop. Is it bleeding? Should you get stitches? Should you get it covered? How bad does it look? Is it minor pain? Is it a lot of pain? If you get something that's not obvious, is the pain getting better over the next day, 2 or 3, or is it going on for weeks? Are you changing how you're doing things because of the pain? You no longer can lift right or move right. For an illness, are you coughing and spraying? Is it not getting better after a week? Do you have recurring internal issues? Something not obvious, but you're feeling it every day. If you don't feel right, something's wrong. You need to think about it. Now, don't forget, um, an injury isn't really just about you. Don't forget, you are not just hurting yourself. Illness can spread, um, and how you perform affects everyone around you. I was in an office and a seasonal flu or cold was going around. And one day I came in and 5 of the 6 office workers in one area were just gone. It was empty. So I asked the one remaining person, where was everybody? And she said she had gotten sick the week before and now everyone else was out. She didn't see the link. She didn't think it was a problem. If you are sick, you can infect other people and you really might be putting them at risk because they might not be as healthy as you are. Their immune system could be compromised. Someone living with them, a small child, an older relative, an illness might be something they can't deal with as easily as you. If you're hurt, what are you not doing because of it? Are you not playing with your kids, not playing a sport, not able to work right? It affects not just your life, but everyone's around you. Um, and also, when you're hurt, can you really perform to the level your coworkers need? Are you not moving as fast? You know, an injury doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone around you. Now, another thing to think about is you have people that are waiting to help you. They really are. Most people want to help you. If people around me know that I have a problem, almost without fail, they're offering to help. Without me asking, people want to help. If you have coworkers or friends around you, ask them for their opinion on something. They want to give you that opinion. They want to help you. Sometimes hearing someone else say, yeah, you should get that looked at, is what we need to hear. We just don't think of it ourselves. Now remember, you have more help waiting for you. Most people have resources dedicated to helping you. If you're hurt at work, employers have an insurance that they already pay. It's already covered. It's called workers' compensation. Um, it covers work-related medical bills, and you don't have to pay them. Report the injury as soon as you realize you might be hurt. Make sure you tell your supervisor you are actually reporting an injury. Don't just mention that you're sore. Don't do it conversationally. You don't want them to misinterpret what you're saying as just normal conversation. You need them to realize you're reporting an injury. Now, does work want to hear that you're hurt? Do they want to do more paperwork? Of course not. Um, no one wants to deal with stuff outside their normal work. But they do want to hear when you're hurt. Why? Because it costs more money. It impacts their workflow. Uh, if you get hurt and let's say it's slight wrist soreness as an example in an office worker, and it's just annoying, not a big deal. You don't report it. But day after day, it's still there and it gets worse and it gets worse and it doesn't go away. And so, and in a few months, you can't sleep at night because the pain is so bad. So it goes from a minor injury where I would have reset up your workstation to make it more comfortable, giving you a little time off, light duty, and now you need surgery because you have carpal tunnel syndrome. Work doesn't want that impact. They don't want to pay that kind of bill. They want to help you early when it's an easy fix. So report it early. Don't wait months and then go back and go, you know, I should have told you this a few months ago, but I didn't. Now, if you get hurt at home, whatever you were doing that got you hurt, stop doing it. That's what got you hurt. You need to think about how bad is it. So for minor injuries, you might just need to be careful while you continue working, but usually you do have to change something. You got to remember, you getting hurt is proof that what you were doing didn't work. You got hurt doing it. So as an easy example, you might just need to clean a cut, put a Band-Aid on it, and then put on some gloves. It's not that big a deal to stop and get yourself taken care of. We have to all remember, if it's worse than that, if it's not minor, we all have access to private medical insurance, the emergency room, social programs that are dedicated to helping us. There are staff and facilities waiting to take care of us. Now, it's totally true that a lot of times these programs are a royal pain to actually use. That I can't help. um, but you know, it's your choice. Do you want to live the rest of your life with this injury, or do you want it addressed? One of the problems we have is when you're young, we've always healed. We get better fairly quickly. and we go, let's just not get treatment. And when you're older, we kind of get used to dealing with minor health issues, and we think about, yeah, it's just not that big a deal. We'll live with it. Is it really worth my time, money, and effort? Do I have to go in? For me, here's what I use as a rule of thumb. If in my head I go, should I get this looked at? Then I go get it looked at. If that thought occurs to me, if it's not immediately, I got this, this is no big deal, then guess what? It's outside my expertise. I need a professional to look at it. So here's some closing notes. First, practice the buddy system. If you notice someone doesn't seem well, don't be embarrassed to ask them how they're feeling. Remember, they may not even be able to tell that they're hurt. So be conversational, ask in a polite way, not an inquiring way. Hey, are you okay? Be a friend. Um, Say specifically what you saw. Hey, you tripped a few times over there. Are you okay? Have you taken a break? Um, Also, take enough breaks in the day so you can stop and think. If you have tunnel vision on a project, if you rush to try and meet a deadline, you might not listen to what your body's telling you. You need to be cognizant of how you're doing throughout the day. In conclusion, when something doesn't feel right, it's not right. Care for yourself as you do others. Hopefully, by the end of this presentation, you've realized that an injury is not something that's just obvious. It's not just oozing blood. There's a whole lot of things. It could be an illness or an injury that you need to be aware of. And at some point, you need to think about, do I need professional care? Might need to report it to somebody. You need to take care of yourself. There's no one dedicated to do it. It's your job. So reach out, get some help, take care of yourself.